Hello, this is Charlene. We're going to work a word problem today by creating a linear system of three equations. We will also be using the matrix function of our graphing calculator. Let's go ahead and read our word problem. It says that three medals are earned in the Olympics, and they are gold, silver, and bronze. In the 2014 Winter Olympics, the U.S. had 28 total medal winners. There are two more gold medals than silver medals, and the number of bronze medals was 4 less than the sum of the number of gold and silver medals. How many winners were there of each type of medal? Okay, so our goal is to find out how many there were of each type of medal. Well, how many medals were there? There were 3. So we're going to go up here to our first sentence and recognize that we have gold and silver and bronze. I like using real live variables instead of X, Y, and Z. You're welcome to use X, Y, and Z or to change it out at the end to X, Y, and Z. But I'm just going to use G, S, and B to represent my 3 types of metal. So gold, silver, and bronze. In sentence 2, it says that there were 28 total metals. So in this first section over here, you'll notice that I've set that up. And so we're just going to look at that little section right there. So gold, the number of gold medals plus the number of silver medals plus the number of bronze medals equals a total of 28 medals. So that was my first line to turn the English sentences into a math sentence. So I'm going to go a little bit further and go and reduce it down to G plus S plus B equals a total of 28. At that point, this equation is actually in standard form. Let's remind ourselves what standard form is. Let's see, AX plus BY plus CZ is equal to a constant over here, just another number. So that is actually what we're looking for. If we're looking for a system of 3 equations with 3 variables, it will be set up like that. And this equation does actually meet that criteria. It's got 3 variables, and then it's got a constant over here on the other side of the equal sign. So we're going to go ahead and accept that one as the one we're going to work with, and we'll go ahead and just move it down here. The only thing we need to remember is that we have invisible coefficients. We have an invisible coefficient of 1, and another invisible coefficient of 1, and a third invisible coefficient of 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the next section of our screen here. So we're going to look at this one. This one coincides with sentence 3. It says there were 2 more gold medals than silver. So anytime you see something that says 2 more, remember that 2 more means plus 2. And this plus 2 will go at the end of our equation. But what is it? 2 more than what? Well, it says up here 2 more than silver. So it's 2 more than silver. So here we'll be able to see that we have plus 2, which means 2 more than the silver. So at the beginning of that sentence, just let's remind ourselves, it was actually talking about the number of gold medals is 2 more than silver. So the gold medals are equal to 2 more than the number of silver medals. So that's my first line. Trying to translate from English sentences to math sentences, and I can go a little bit further and change it to just the variables. So the gold is equal to the silver plus 2. At that point, we need to use order of operations to put the order or put the equation more in standard form, where I have all of my variables on one side and my constant on the other. So I can do minus S here, and of course you see at this level we've moved the S over, so G minus S equals 2. However, we are missing a variable. In the first equation, we have a G, an S, and a B. Here, I only have a G and an S, so I need to add the B. Well, there are no B's, and we literally can put that it's plus 0 B's. So that way, I still have the 3 variables that I need for my system of 3 equations in 3 variables. And at that point, I'm going to move that equation to this position and start getting them lined up and ready to put into my matrices in the calculator. Okay, so the next one that we can look at is the third section. The third section is talking about the number of bronze medals was. So the number of bronze was, the word was means equals in this particular word problem. So we say bronze equals, bronze was, and then what was it? It was 4 less. Well, 4 less means -4, and we are going to put that -4 at the end of our equation because it's 4 less than what? 4 less than what? And it says 4 less than the sum of gold and silver. So it is 4 less than the sum of gold and silver. Okay, so that's my first line again, going from English sentences to math language. So I'm going to break it down just a little bit more to just variables, and it'll be bronze is equal to 4 less than the sum of gold and silver. Okay, so at that point again, they are really not in the right order that we need them to be in. They're not matching the standard format where I have all my variables on one side and a constant on the other side. So I'm going to use order of operations, and I'm going to move things around. I'm going to say minus G and minus S, and at that point I will end up with negative G minus S plus B equals the constant. And again, we just need to look and see that we have a G, S, and a B, G, S, and a B, because we want them all to be lined up in the same order. Okay, so at that point, we can take this equation and move it down here to the bottom. So now we've got all 3 of our equations. The only thing we need to remind ourselves again for these others is we have invisible ones. So we need to, oops, let's put that one, make that one a little bit straighter. Okay, 1, there we go, and that's a 0. So 1, 1, 0, and the constant, and then -1, -1, +1, and -4. So at that point, we are ready to put all those coefficients into our matrix. I'm going to put in 1, 1, 1, and 28, and you'll see right there that is the first row that I have already entered into the graphing calculator. Then I've got 1, -1, 0, and 2, and you'll see that this matches the second row of my matrix. And then I've got -1, -1, +1, and a -4, and that matches my third row of my matrix. So once I put those in, and then I go find my reduced row echelon option in my graphing calculator, and it gives me this answer matrix, and clearly we can see that we have 9 gold medals, we have 7 silver medals, and 12 bronze medals, because that will line up. That's the reason why we put them in order. We put gold, silver, bronze, so that means the top row is about the gold, then the silver, oops, silver, and then the bronze, and that lines up with what we have over here. So these are the correct answers, and I hope that this helps you work through the process of converting a word problem to a linear system of 3 equations with 3 variables, and then helping you know how to put it into your graphing calculator to arrive at your answer and solutions for this linear system. Okay, just click on the subscribe button, click on the like button. We'll see you back soon. Thank you.